Hey, good afternoon, dear. Good afternoon. Actually, it's my afternoon, and some of you that might be on the West Coast, it might still be early. If I'm not mistaken, around 10. So, good afternoon, partners. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Steve Noel. I'm the VP of Microsoft Sales and Development at IT Cloud. So, if you're wondering how I can help you on a day-to-day basis, I look after our mutual success with Microsoft Solutions. This afternoon, I'd like to, talk to you and discuss and share with you about how you can unlock your success with the Microsoft partnership, whether we're speaking about designations, benefits, and incentives. I think that there's quite a bit of changes that have happened in the Microsoft program, and we're going to be looking at those in the next few minutes. If you have questions, I have my colleague Majida Razi, which is on the line and is available in the chat so she can actually answer the questions. And furthermore, if any of the information that we've just shared is not clear, you're going to have lots of opportunities to actually contact and talk to us. We'll try to make this as clear as possible and try to, help you with any issues that you might have with your Microsoft partnership. So, let's talk about the MAI program or CPP, the Microsoft AI Cloud Partner Program. They've actually changed this multiple times in the course of the past few years. I like just to call it the Microsoft Partner Program, but they've revamped it quite a bit since then. So, what are we going to be looking at today? Program overview, um, solution designations, specializations, the benefits, the new benefits, what's recommended for people that are in legacy benefit offerings. We're going to talk a little bit about the MCP program, the Microsoft Cloud. I'm sorry, I said MCP. I meant to say Cloud Solution Provider, and talk about some of the partner incentives. So with no further ado, let's get into the program. So the Microsoft Partner Program or the Microsoft AI Cloud Partner Program is really what you can use as the foundation for a Microsoft relationship. Microsoft has tons of resources available to help partners grow their business and become more profitable. And you have the opportunity to just enter this program to get access to all of those. Quite a bit of resources are actually available with no, exchange of money or with no fee associated with that, and you get tons of great marketing material, tons of great training as well. But as you get deeper and deeper in the Microsoft program, and they ask a little bit more of you, and and they're more committed to your success, you see there's tons of opportunities to be successful as taking advantage of everything that Microsoft has to offer. Myself personally, I've been involved in one shape or form of this program in the past at least 25 years. I started off as, as a IT consultant, maybe just with the Microsoft Action Pack. That takes me that probably, give some of you my age. But I've started, years and years ago. And at the time, it was, wasn't as evolved, but still one of the best partner programs on the market. We would get tons of resources, and if I remember correctly, it was $300-400. You would get tons of CDs and access to a bunch of resources. And at the time, they even called it MSDN. There was part of it, so it was great. A bunch of resources. There was TechNet as well. So that was, right around the time where, internet was getting, more and more resources. But at the time, we had everything on CDs. So that was kind of my gateway into the Microsoft relationship. And then further on, build that relationship based on, more, how can I say this, a more intricate way of doing business with Microsoft and actually getting myself known as an entrepreneur slash business, and being able to build that relationship that gave me further business opportunities. So if you look at the different levels of partnership that you can have, you've got the base membership, which is essentially signing up and having access to a lot of different resources. You've got the partner designations, so a solution partner, and then you've got the specializations and the an expert level. So all of those are actually stepping stones. So you see the stairs there. So really what it is that from one place to the other, you're actually growing your relationship with Microsoft and the opportunities as well to make your business either, more successful or even more profitable depending on the different programs you take advantage of, right? So if you look at the solution partner designations, I don't know if any of you that are on the webinar have ever, maybe by either show of hands or write it if you ever held one of the previous competencies what Microsoft called gold and silver. I've actually had silver and gold, so just maybe write it in the and the chat there if you've had gold or silver competency, because they've actually used that in the past 20 years or so. Partners were either gold or silver, and they've actually revamped the program. I think it's been right after COVID or right within the COVID years. So we were talking about 3 to 4 years. Saw people, saw Microsoft introduce solution partner designations. So I guess nobody was either a gold or a silver partner. So I'm going to get maybe into a little bit of details on how that changed, but Microsoft Majid has made a great job as explaining some of the differences between the programs. So solution partner designation, as Microsoft grew from the competencies and the gold and the silver competencies before, and sometimes people are asking me why is this different than what Microsoft had before. Well, this answer is very simple. The market became very saturated. Yeah, very saturated. Um, and the reason was simple: is every single partner had some type of competency, and whether the customer or even Microsoft couldn't differentiate, the level of success or the level of engagement the partners, because it was, in some cases, it was very easy to get some of these competencies. In some other cases, there's, consultants that would lend their expertise so that the partner could get there. And they made it a little bit more of a market differentiator to be able to get some of these solution designations. So, what are some of the, I guess, some of the characteristics of solution designations? First of all, you're able to set yourself apart, right? So it's easily identifiable. When you looked at the silver and gold, it wasn't initially easy to understand you were a silver partner or a gold partner, and why and how, what the expertise, what did that mean exactly. But the solution partner designation actually means that you've actually went through, process with Microsoft, and Microsoft is, you know, um, advocating you or actually saying that you have these solution skill set, and your business is a partner that can actually operate at a very high level for that particular solutions. You can, choose one designations or have multiple. It doesn't cost you any more to have more, solutions where you have that expertise and opportunity. It gives you a significant ability to get obviously some benefits where you would get more, software um, with that. But really, at the end of the day, it gives you the opportunity to say to the market itself, and also to Microsoft, because Microsoft, opens up leads and opportunities to partners that have gone through this level of, rigorous either training, certifications, or business building. Whereas they say, you guys are investing in your business and we're investing back into your success. with, in some cases, opportunities. You're getting sent some leads. So when you think about the solution designations, there's multiple. I mean, I think that Microsoft is doing a better job at by even adding some more. At least, every type of partner should, and this is very specific to our partners, but there's more solution designations available. So making sure that you can find your place and showcase your expertise, right? So here you've got the business application, data and AI. You've got digital and app innovation. You've got the infrastructure, Azure infrastructure certification designation as well. You've got the modern work, the security, and the overall solution partner for Microsoft Cloud. So when you look at the designations and you reach that level, Microsoft recognizes that again, you've demonstrated the technical capabilities through certifications, but also through deployment and consumption of said solution and services at your customers. And the benefits, there's a whole lot of benefits, and we're going to be able to discuss that. Whether you're talking about market recognition, ability to co-sell with Microsoft, meaning that Microsoft can bring you into some deals, whereas there's opportunities, as well as a bunch of marketing resources and sales resources that are available to you. And when you're talking about a specializations, and we're gonna talk about that a little later, is the ability to actually differentiate yourself and go even deeper into the Microsoft solution stack and show more sales. And as Majida was saying this morning when we were presenting in French, it appeals to partners that deal in the mid-market enterprise. They've done a lot of deployment. They have that expertise at the enterprise level, which, to be honest, it doesn't mean that you have to be a big partner to be able to do that. I think it's more of a we've decided as a business we're going to be focusing on that expertise and specialization, and we're putting our best foot forward, and we're going through all the different Microsoft path, and um, there's in some cases there's some audits or so that are involved to actually get there. Specializations are really a step up. I don't think that it's for every single partner, but I think that some partners are actually going to get, amazing benefits of getting specialization because they're going to be able to go to maybe certain markets that weren't necessarily open to them. So when you're trying to go from, SMBs to, mid-sized businesses to enterprise, and I've been fortunate enough to actually have an MSP where we actually grew from going from SMB to mid-size, and we even had institutional customers, large organizations with thousands of seats. And, that type of recognition actually opened up some doors and we won some deals against big partners to be able to do that. Furthermore, when you're talking about the solution designations, it requires a minimum of 70 points, um, you know, out of a total of a possible 100. And the categories that Microsoft is looking at is performance, scaling, and customer success, right? Performance is essentially how many customer ads have you had. Scaling is tends to be around, people that you've certified in your organization, people that have followed specific trainings, and customer success has to do with um, deployment and usage. So if we look at one example, and there's multiple examples, but the one that we encounter the most is most likely the modern work, because a lot of our partners have that type of expertise in their portfolio. So you get up to 20 points for a net customer ads. So, depending on the number of customers that you've added into in your business within the past 12 months, you get an allocation of up to 20 points. So Microsoft is actually looking at partners that are vested into growing, that are, how can I say this? that are actually investing and growing their business. They're not looking for only for partners that are, just there and they're just active, but they're looking at partners that want to grow their business. Number two, extremely important, getting your people certs. I mentioned this again. I think that one of the best ways to prove to the market and also yourself that your employees or your technicians or your colleagues have the technical qualifications to actually grow their business, to help customers, not just the way that they've learned, but the way that Microsoft has, you know, I would say show them, or you've learned through the Microsoft the best ways of doing so is to actually get skilling. And if I can just talk about my personal experience when I had my own business, every single people that we worked with, that worked in the business, even if it was a first level technician or as an administrator or if it was a senior tech, at the admin level, everybody had to get certified, and you at least had to get one certification. And I always told my customers they knew, even if they're looking at our our signature on our emails, that we held multiple certifications and we had the qualifications to serve your business. Sorry about that. And as well as usage growth and deployment. So the capability in Microsoft is not only looking to have people that add customers and people that are actually qualified at with the technology itself, but also making sure that the customers are actually actively using and we're lighting up workloads, right? And the reason is very simple. And if you have a Spotify subscription, if you have a Netflix subscription, however, whatever subscription that you have, if you're not actively using it, and I just think, off the top of my head, I get emails from Prime, from Amazon all the time telling me, these are some of the benefits you're not using. And the reason why, if you're not, if Microsoft puts a lot of emphasis on that, if people are not using the software, they're not going to renew and we're going to be losing that revenue. So a lot of emphasis is on customer success, making sure that your customers are using it and we've actually deployed the technology itself. Now, we don't necessarily have that issue as much in the small and medium-sized businesses because, if an SMB is going to buy something, in most cases they're going to be using it. They just don't have that much money to spend this way without, frivolously. But very important to understand where that all fits in, and you can get up to a maximum of 100 points. But at 70 point, you reach there. Another point that's very important: you need at least to get 1 point in each category. So you can't load up on all the points and not, have nothing in skilling or in customer success. You need that, and as you can see, with this is where Microsoft is actually putting a lot more emphasis, which is, obviously in the customer success and the performance aspect of it. So there's Microsoft has announced SMB path for Azure and security designations. Now, I think that the security designations, I've got a little bit more information on that. But that being said, whether you're talking about Azure security, the current designations that we had before, very hard to accomplish for SMB partners or partners dealing with SMBs. Now, a lot easier because they've actually revamped it or created a program that appeals more to the SMB, or that's, I wouldn't say appeal more, but I would say more that that's better suited for the SMB partners, right? So you get the same benefits. It's just that everything has been scaled to an SMB. Hopefully, we're going to hear some good news about the Azure designation, because I know that a lot of partners are waiting for the Azure SMB designation so that they can just jump in and leverage it. Here's you've got some specifications on the security. One thing I'd like to say is that as you're going forward in the security, Microsoft intersects Azure and also modern work together. So if you're a security partner, you definitely have some Azure expertise. I think it's a great way to actually differentiate yourself And as far as the requirements for security are concerned, as you can see, there's the enterprise path and the SMB path. And in most cases, if when you're looking at it, it actually requires some Azure consumption of customers of a certain side. Nothing too crazy. You see over $600, a specific number of tenants that are required. So up to 5 tenants with either Microsoft 365 or Azure, and you see the number of required certifications, not any super difficult exams. I think they're all available. So as you can see, um, you can get up to all the 70 points there, and very reachable and acceptable to be able to do so. The requirement for skilling. So as you can see, you've got the AZ 500, the SC 200 exams on the enterprise path. You've got also the SC 100, SC 300, SC 400. These are all awesome exams. I think that when you really look at it, regardless of the designation itself, I think that these exams are the backbone of what makes a great, technician, a great, administrator, specialist on these technologies, because there's a wealth of knowledge that's acquired when you're going after one of these certifications and you pass those. So I would encourage you to actually encourage your employees to go after these certifications. When I came into the IT industry, it was so big in certs. Even at the time, I remember there's people doing what we called it, and I'm gonna show my age here. Paper MCSEs. People are just wouldn't even know the knowledge and pass the exams. Now it's difficult to be able to do so, but I've gone through and passed dozens of certification exams, and because you know, although it was thrilling to be able to do that, I became so proficient in technology and I was extremely secure in my skills that I was able to help, our customers, and always feel very comfortable because I not only knew, how to do these things, but I also understood how it was designed by Microsoft. So highly encourage you to get these certifications. Now, um, specializations. This is really when you think about specializations, it's actually higher than solution designations, right? That's when you want to play with the big boys, when you're going, with the men, um, and you're going on more on the enterprise scales, mid-size scales, scale type of customers, right? Because it's asking you for more exams and more expertise and higher sales. So it wants you to understand that this is not given to just everybody. And there's a commitment in there when you get specialized, whereas you can get a lot of different opportunities are not even available to solution designations. So when we talk about having opportunities such as being able to provide POCs or different programs where you can get thousands of dollars to do proof of concepts or demos, things of that nature, and you're showcasing yourself and your expertise as one of only a few that have this technical expertise to be able to deploy to enterprise customers. So the specializations are mapped to the solution designations. So because it's a level higher to be able to get those, it's exact same as the solution designations, but the credentials, or I'm sorry, the prerequisite to be able to get there or the thresholds are a lot higher, right? So there's specific ways for you to go look at exactly where you're at, and your journey to maybe get those specialization. And I encourage you, if it's something that you want to actively pursue, there's some amazing opportunities when it comes to benefits. And there's some programs and some incentives, but more than anything, I think it open you up to the ability to place your product or services offering in the Microsoft Marketplace. And when somebody's looking for someone that's actually highly qualified, it's an easy way to set yourself apart and actually get leads that, maybe you're, working in the 50 to 100 users, and you're getting there. And I was giving this example this morning. Once I was sitting there and, with one of the third most important cities in Quebec, which is Longueuil, and they've got 1,200 seats, and we're able to get in there because we've got the competencies, because we have the expertise, and we're sitting with the city, and even the city of Repentigny, where we sat with. So you're just opening up the opportunities to actually work with bigger customers. And at the end of the day, maybe you don't get the business premium, but you get a Defender for Cloud, license, or you get an Acronis license when you're there, and you've got the opportunity to maybe showcase, your expertise in, compliance, Microsoft compliance. You might not get the whole business, but it gives you you're opening up the door for some managed services and some license revenue. And when you're thinking about big numbers like that, you get like a 2,000 licenses of, set product. We're talking about huge revenue and opportunities when you've invested and trying to get one of these, specializations. New benefits, super important, some great changes and some information to understand. We're just right around the corner towards the end of the year. So January 22nd, 2025, Microsoft is introducing 20 new in-demand product licenses. So whether we're talking about Copilot, partners have been asking for NFR licenses for ever since this product has been available, Copilot. Now is the time. If you have a solution designation, if you have some of the partner benefits that partner launch or um, partner benefit packages, you're going to be able to have access to those and give some of your employees access to these. I know that a lot of partners bought a few licenses, but with this, you're going to be able to get more benefits and packages. So stay tuned. There's a lot of new stuff I'm going to be talking about. For partners that are using legacy benefits right now, so I'm talking about the Microsoft Action Pack or the Legacy Silver or Gold benefits. There's a transition period. It's been happening for a while now. I think the new program was announced about 3 years ago, and now the benefits are you can only renew your legacy benefits up until January 21st to 2025, and for just 1 year, right? Um, that's it. So if you want to move to the new one and you want to retain, I think that's something that's very important. If you want to retain your, your packages and your different benefits for still a year, you can do that, but you need to renew before January 21st. If you're not ready to move on yet, um, that being said, something that's very important is that if you are receiving incentives, you know, you can continue to receive these incentives with the legacy and the legacy and the gold competency as you transition up until September 2025. If you decide to move to one of the other packages that I'm going to be presenting, some of these incentives they don't flow. So it's very important for you to maybe compensate some of the software benefits that you need with the financial benefits of the legacy and silver gold competencies to be able to get everything you're looking for. So here, as a good example, if you are if you decide to renew your incentives, your benefits, what you need to do here is you renew for another year. You're going to have only available what was available previously in FY24. So, and you won't get the new benefits. So that's one of the things. And your incentives will essentially end in September 30th, 2025. So what you want to do is if you're ready, you want to move to the new path, right? You want to get, the partner launch benefits, the partner success core benefits, partner success expanded benefits, a solution designation, and specialization if you want to get all that great stuff I just mentioned a little before. If you look at some of the benefit packages here, super interesting. The partner launch benefit is the equivalent of the action pack. Um, if I remember off the top of my head, it's $345 US. I have a slide that gives you the exact pricing. This is around $800. This one is action pack like. This one is silver. If you had silver competencies, this is kind of what the silver offered. So for around $800. And this expended success benefit, and if you want the co-pilot, you need this partner success expended benefit at $4,000. Now, very important to understand, these have no requirements, none whatsoever. You don't need to pass exams. You don't need to show performance. You don't need to have customer success, deployments, and things like that. These are solely so that you can get access to Microsoft software for very cheap. If I'm not mistaken, Vegeta mentioned this is for a sub five user team. If it's, you've got under around 5 employees, this is great partner benefit. This will give you benefits for about 15 people. And this you'll get, benefits for around 30 people or so. So a lot of value. And I remember there's specific dollar figures for each launch benefit. This is equivalent to a few $1,000s. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is like $30,000, and this is equivalent to like $100,000+ in terms of benefits. So if you're, if you don't want to go through the certification route, you don't want to go through the solution designations, which, I would be honest and tell you, I would be kind of against that because I think that you should pursue these designations. But let's say all what you're looking for is actually get some of these software benefits that you had with these packages. Well, you can get those just by buying into and not having to do anything else. If you decide to go with solution designations, a solution designation price is $4,700, $30 to get a solution partners designation. You get a lot more, and with the specializations, you even go get more than that, and there's no extra charge at the specialization as soon as you paid your partners designations. Kind of like if you remember if you had multiple solution designations or multiple gold competencies, you only pay once, and that's it. The specialization doesn't require anything more. So, what to do if you want to move from the previous legacy packages to the new one? Number one, if you're an Action Pack subscriber, so you're at the entry level, and what you were looking for is to get just your software package. So you can go with the Partner Success Core benefit or the Expended Benefit package. That will give you access to a lot of software, as you've seen before on the previous slide, and it's quite affordable. When you think about it, $400 or 800, around $800, and you can purchase or renew your action pack up until January 22nd, 2025. To be honest, if it's the benefits for that is, it's probably not even as good as getting, the partner success expended benefit. So I wouldn't renew my action pack unless I've got some, I'm grandfather to something that's special that I'm looking for. If you're looking at your legacy silver benefits, the partner success expended benefit, it definitely fits in that criteria. So if you're looking to renew your silver benefits, the only caveat I would say that if you have some incentives attached to that, you're not ready to move to your solution designation, make sure that you renew your silver. You might need to pair it with the partner success expended benefits. It's going to cost you a little more, but it's well worth it because you won't lose your incentives until you get ready to move to a solution designation. Now, if you're gold, so your investment was already substantial into getting the gold. definitely work towards attaining one of the new solution designations. And as fast as possible, you can talk to Majida. She can tell you what needs to be done so that you can move to this new program. And for sure, make sure that before um, you move to solution designation, that you're ready to be able to do so, so that you don't lose any of the incentives, which I'm going to be talking about in the next few slides. That's pretty much it here. So here you see the pricing. So you've got the base membership, which is free, no extra charge. Partner launch benefit, so you see the retail value here. I mentioned $14,000, close to $14,000, $345 US, $60,000 worth of revenue. I was definitely underselling to I was underselling it, but as you can see here, a lot of value, $14,000 of value, 60,000, north of $60,000 of value here, and over $300,000 of value when you think about the $4,000 of software here. That's for the expended benefits. Again, as a reminder, these three do not require any certification, performance, or customer success type of engagement to be able to buy into this. You just buy it and you get the benefits. As a solution designation partner, it's $4,700. It's the same price it's been for years as far as the gold partners. And I've paid that for a number of years, and I don't think that they've increased it, but that's around the figure. And specialists, you don't have to specialization. You don't need to pay any, above, over and above the 47.30 that you're paying. Access to great marketing resources from Microsoft. What's awesome about, as soon as you hit you subscribe and you register to become a Microsoft partner, you have access to all of these different things there, and they're readily available. If you haven't tried those, the DMC is remarkable. Essentially it's a marketing in a box, or a list. They'll send out emails, send out social media posts and everything. So a fantastic platform. And the CSP program, well, easy enough. If desire, not only, if I think that if you're a Microsoft partner, and you're with us, one of the things that you want to do is you want to be able to resell software, and to be able to do so, you have to join the CSP program. So here, very first step, join the Microsoft AI Cloud Partner Program, enroll as a cloud solution provider, and then connect and set up IT Cloud as your indirect provider to be able to purchase from us and resell to your customers. Um, Very important. You need to accept the MPA to Microsoft Partner Agreement to be not only eligible, but to be compliant to what Microsoft is asking. If not, you're not really able. You're not recognized as a CSP partner. So very important to make sure that your paperwork is in place to be able to do so. In terms of partner incentives, so we're doing all these great things, and all these benefits are amazing. I talked about, but one of the number one benefits why I would invest in getting a solution designation or a specialization is getting rewarded for customer success with additional incentives. For some of our partners, we're talking about it equals thousands and thousands of dollars, and it makes for a, a Microsoft practice that's a lot more profitable than you would think at first, with just the margins up front, but the back end margins for Microsoft. So as you enroll in this, you've got a few things to do. As you need to enroll in the program. You've got to determine if you're eligible, and in the slide, you need to be able to have some some level of business, and and also create the payout and tax profile, enter in your bank information, and then um, to be able to be eligible for that, we're definitely talking about, you need to get a solution partner designations. So some of these designations I talked about, modern work, Azure, business apps, all these different designations I talked about, or the silver and gold, which are getting sunsetted in the next year or so. You need that to be able to get these incentives. And there's a revenue requirement. You need to be able to generate 25, 25K US, in terms of Microsoft sales for the, trailing 12 months. If you're wondering exactly what this looks like, think about it maybe like a $3,000 of licenses a month. I think that most of our partners that are doing this seriously are able to get to that threshold and a lot higher than that, which makes it, interesting because Microsoft puts some money back in your pocket. Now, specializations, they open up sometimes other types of incentives to you. um, Also, you actually are able to make additional revenue based on, specific activities, maybe pre-sales workshops, linked to, consumptions. There's a lot of different programs that you can actually have access to when you get that level of business and you're eligible to become, to have a specialization. So, your business becomes so much more visible to Microsoft and also the Microsoft sellers. So a lot of opportunities are opened up to you. Now, if you think about the core incentives that are available here, uh, and all the way up to September 2025, an additional, this is on top of all the margins you're already getting from IT Cloud. And in most cases, our margins are extremely and very generous, depending on the solution stack. But you get on Azure, you get an extra 4%, on regular Azure consumption, 10% on RIs, reserve instances, or saving plans, right? A lot of you ask us questions, what's the value proposition for an RI? We're not making upfront margins as much, but you are getting 10% back. So decent margins when you think about RIs here. If you're doing modern work on build revenue, you get an extra 3.75 percent. Copilot an extra 7%. And what I really like about this is those are all stackable. So when you add a new customer, modern work and security, you get an extra, 15%. And if it's a business premium customer here, you can see you get an extra 5%. And then if you add to that 5%, 3.75%, you're getting on the new customer, you're getting 15 point plus 5, that means 20, and it's 23.75% extra revenue. So everything here is stackable. And I think that the best incentive is actually when you're growing your customer base. And that's kind of the reason why, sometimes you see that you get one of those big checks after you've signed a big customer and you've brought him over. You see, and I said checks, but a bigger deposit because you're hitting all these different accelerators. So, um, if you're looking to get a lot more information, or furthermore, if you're wondering, what's the next step, right? If you're saying, I want to get into solution designations, but we don't necessarily have the training or the certifications. We actually have programs. We have IT Cloud Academy you can leverage with us, and with IT Cloud Academy, you get all the training that's necessary to get to the solution designations, to get to the training, and then if you got your certs, your training, and everything you know that you already have, and you're ready to pass these exams, and we can even, through the help of Microsoft, give you guys vouchers to pass these exams. And you can definitely talk to one of our partnership specialists. Majid is here, attested help partners get these designations, show them what the ropes and what's needed so that they can be successful in the Microsoft partner ecosystem. So please do reach out to us if you need to have more information, and maybe you weren't able to follow up and listen to everything that's here. Um, Listen, you can go to our YouTube channel, watch it again, slow it down, reach out to us. There's great, amazing content. We do webinars every 2 weeks, so stay tuned and have a lot more information. So just want to say thank you. I take it that I saw a few questions. I think that Mitchell and Mashida were able to answer them. I don't know if there's anything that I need to, if there's any additional question I can answer. I'm still here. I'm still on the clock. Apparently, they're still paying me for the next 12 minutes. So let me know if there's any questions, or if not, I'm pass it over. Are you going to get the slides up for the webinar? Absolutely. If you go to the partner portal under documentation, your IT Cloud partner portal under documentation, under the webinar, there's one that's called webinar, and we post the slides there. If you don't have access to them for any reason, send an email to partners@itcloud.ca. We can get you the slides, no problem, no issue, none whatsoever. Well, oh, yeah, thank you, Majida. If you want to fill out the form, it'd be greatly appreciated. Please click on the link. That helps us better understand what you guys are looking for in terms of webinars. Also, if there's anything that we can do better, it's definitely a pleasure to actually meet our partners' expectations. So thank you very much, and hopefully, I don't think no, I think that we still have a webinar to go until the end of the year. So I'll be able to, to uh, to give my best wishes for the holidays and the new year in a few weeks. So as for now, thank you very much and have a very nice end of day. All right. Bye bye.